Good morning, my people. How are you today? It's a Wednesday, and of course, it's Lifestyle Wednesday. And I'm going to tell you something that is interesting. But how are you? Masuze Mutia, Masuze Bulungi, Triple M, Brigitte Kakai, Louis, Jones Info, Paul Sema VIP, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Isoba Ivan, Official, Sebugwao Medin, Sedeko Starch, Ronald M. Kasendwa VIP, Obadobuze, Kasibante Akisam, Kamukama Godwin, and the guys that are in Kamori. I hope you guys are doing well today morning. I'm going to be telling you something, but I want us to explore the subject of when to buy the first car still, because that's something. First and second car, first and next car. Let's just say that. And then I'm going to tell you the story of how I inspected for someone yesterday that was not even interested in looking for a car. And yeah, how we almost got a Vanguard at 15 million shillings. And yeah, and how we did not buy it and why we did not buy it. Official, I think, Lukuri Road. Yeah, so yesterday I went and inspected the Vanguard, which was amazing, at 15 million shillings. I'm going to tell you that story. I don't know why I did not put it as a cover. But I'm going to be sharing that story and how we ended up not buying, how I ended up advising this person who I was advising to get the money and pay up immediately, how I ended up not advising them not to buy this car, even when it was most appropriate to buy it. And of course, we can discuss how, when someone should be buying their first or second car. Especially for people that have bought 2 cars so far or 3 cars so far. When did you know that it was the right time for you to buy another car? And for the guys that have bought their first car, when did you know that it was the right time for you to buy your first car? Yeah, and then along the way, I'll be telling you this interesting story of how we almost got a Vanguard at 15. So guys, it's Lifestyle Wednesday. Kim, spark plugs work for like 2 years. If your car is, if your engine is functioning properly, you have good air cleaner, you have clean fuel, yeah, your plugs should work for a minimum of 2 years. 2 years on average driving, yeah. Ngatovuga nti atogenda Nairobi every week. Your spark plugs should work for minimum 2 years. SPK Driving School VIP Kanyanya. Yusuf Minaj, good morning. Travel Live Vlog, George Senkubuge, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, Isaac Ruyerika, Musime Kim Job. I hope you guys are doing well. We are day 8 into 2025. Yeah, day 8. Chitegeza onakubera mu 365 days. Yeah, we have already gone days. Chitegeza we have 357 days remaining in 2025. Mujako Sundays, because Sundays are normally not very productive. Chitegera Jako Sunday nyanya buli mwezi. Then you do the math. No labendako zobosigaza mwaka guno. But I hope you guys are doing well. Interesting. I did a video on Raum and Wish yesterday on TikTok. I thought guys on TikTok had thick skin. They don't, apparently. I did a video where I said Wish, majority of the time, is bought by people that have huge families and people that want to drive abechika. Uganda bakona abemekwano when they go to the village. Apparently, it's true. It's true. I've gotten so many responses. People are hurt. I would like to apologize for that. I did not know that when I talk about stuff like that, it hurts. I talked about it in a positive light because I said twesabire nnyo tukole nnyo abaana baffe baleme kugula mmotoka nga bagulira kika kyonna. I thought that it would be taken in a positive light. Morad K Momo, good morning. Kasibante Akisam, good morning. I thought it would be a positive thing, guys. Normally when I share experiences, yeah, when I share experiences, whether it's my own experience or it's another person's experience, I share these experiences. I share these experiences so that the people that have not gone through those experiences learn that it's okay to go through the same, or so that the people that are going through the same experience understand that it happens. You get, yeah? I never thought that that someone would actually get really hurt by by what I share, and that's not how I normally mean it. Okwewala kajjamu kensambya tugende tusalireko eno. So I shared when I did the video on TikTok. For the guys that also follow me on TikTok, I did wanono waliwo akakubo kendobeddemu kembadde nyino yitamu naye katumale wali. I did a video on TikTok for the guys that follow me. Someone was asking if they should buy a Raum at 14 or a Wish at 15, and of course the verdict was they should buy a Raum because a Wish at 15 would be bad, and this is probably something I've always been saying, yeah. And in the middle there, like I always say, and I think the biggest issue is I shared it lightly, the way I normally do, and I was laughing. And normally when I laugh, people think I'm laughing at them. I'm not particularly laughing at you. I'm laughing at the situation, yeah? And I try to treat those situations the way they are. They are funny. Some of the situations should not be happening to us, and we should not take it to heart that they're happening to us because or we are bad people, or we deserve it. No. Normally when the situations happen to us, they happen to us because of a choice that was made by either us or by people that we are related to. Some of the suffering that some of us have gone through, Ngatukura, we have gone through that suffering. Apparently this taking the longer route is actually faster. It seems to be faster. Let me see. It's faster. Eyemoroka mujiraba. Waliwe ngambe wembadde nyino ite eyemoroka ebadde ekyama ebadde munda mu kakubo, but we have gotten to the main road here before he actually did. He was behind this black thing. Yeah? So anyway, guys, when I share experiences, and even if you tell me your story and I share it, guys, bambi, don't get offended. These stories help other people make the right decisions. They help other people make the right decisions. It's very bad, Ronald. Eh? I'm glad I did. So guys, when I laugh about a situation, I've found that laughing about stuff actually makes them heartless. It makes them heartless. In the past, I've shared that one of the reasons why the first time I bought my car, I made sure to never let a car go. One of the reasons was that every family deserves to have a car. Every family deserves to have a car. And why? Because families get emergencies. Families get emergencies. You want to get an emergency. You want to get an emergency when you're equipped. Like getting a sick person at 4 a.m. I remember in 2000, that was around 2013. No, 2016. No, 2017. My grandmother was sick. Yeah, and the family was going through a tough time. And that time, I had a chibina. It wasn't in good condition at all. Nalina Kagenda, I had just moved into my house. I sold my dudu and I bought just a car to make sure I don't be there without a car. You remember the story I told you? I sold my dudu and then I went to one of my mentors and he said, Arthur, I think I had 3.5 remaining, and then he made sure we go and bought. I told him, and he said, buy that car. Because for him, he had gone through a situation where he did not have a car at all, and it was tough. So we went and bought the chibina. So that's the chibina I was talking about. And that time, I remember someone calling me, and they were a situation had happened with my grandmother, and she needed to be taken back home, like immediately. Of course, she's fine now. She's fine. And in that moment, my car, I wasn't doing well financially. I want to look at you guys here. I wasn't doing well financially at that time. And they called me, my car in a third party. And I remember calling someone, and nampe mitwalo kumi, I bought third party at like 70. I had 30 again, and I went and took my grandmother home. And at that moment, no one else had a car in our family at that time. And by talking about my family, I talk about Bokojaya, my grandmother's family. It was Saidia Mami. No one had a car. I'm the one that had a car at that time. Okay, there are people that had cars, but I can tell you without... Some people that had cars had company cars. You know those people that drive Ezebi Tongole. Those were the people. That's what Malaga Jijayo. So I was the one that literally had a car. And when I share those stories, if it's my story, people laugh at it, yeah? Apparently, when I share a story, it hurts them a lot. People don't want their stories told to the world, even when the world does not know the stories are about them. And I did not know that, you get. So apparently, most people that buy the Toyota Wish, most people, I'm not saying everyone, most people that buy the Toyota Wish, they buy it for the same reason I had my Chibina. So that in their family, they have a car that can take majority of them. So when I shared, that video, I realized that I might have rubbed some people, even people that have inspected cars, for the wrong way. So I did not intend for that. And I think that happened one time also here on YouTube. I shared a story about a car. Reported the car, and it wasn't really good, and it was more expensive than the normal market here for the same car. And still a person texted me and I had to make clear, because I had seen 2 cars of the same type in the same month, and apparently, because so I cleared that person was very okay. So I would like to apologize for anyone that I normally hurt with the stories I share. I never intend to hurt anyone. The stories I share are meant to be learning experiences for people. Abantu abambu abataitanga ko mu kintu, they will never know that it exists. So when I share these stories, either here on YouTube or TikTok, trust me, a lot of people's lives are changed. I'm telling you, a lot of people's lives are changed. You cannot imagine how many people say, so people say it is home, but I know that we have a car as a family in case we get into an emergency. I can definitely. So I did not intend that. I'm also going to go and apologize on TikTok, because I've had actually people inbox me the very video. Apparently it's, I try to never really be offended unless someone actually mentions my name, Nangamba, we Arthur, but and if someone doesn't really mention my name and maybe attack me, I've had people that talk about me, and personally I never get offended. I've tried to not get offended at all in a very long time. People have sent me videos where people are talking about me, and I try not to. I normally laugh it off, I've had people that attack me in the comments of the TikTok video, but brokers, I've had them, and normally what I do is I delete the comment. If it's If it treats me really bad, I delete the comment because I have the power to censor stuff. So I delete the comment. One, I don't delete the comment for just censoring this person, but I delete the comment so that I forget that this particular person said something like that to me. You get, yeah? And one of the reasons why I actually make sure to delete them is because when we go to the field to inspect cars, sometimes I end up going to these people's cars, yeah? And I want that if I go to inspect this person's car, I don't want to be biased. You get, eh? I want to imagine it's any other person that has this car. Because the brokers in Kampala actually have their own cars they sell, yeah? And sometimes they're really good cars. I'll give you an example. I think I've shared a lot because most of you guys take us to White King, yeah? And I've never actually had a conversation longer than 30 seconds with this guy or your White King I made up TikTok. I've never. And he comments on my videos sometimes, yeah? He comments on but he has never commented anything negative. But there are times we have gone to inspect cars, but there is a particular broker that has attacked me before, and there's a time we went to buy a Noah, and it belongs to him, and he had attacked me the day before. I did a video, and he came and said, and the next day, someone took me to inspect his car, and we bought it. We bought it. That's why normally when I get a negative comment, I just delete it so that I forget that this person ever said something negative about something that was meant to be positive. You get. But anyway, my video was meant in good spirit. It's an experience that people should know to call our generation, so that our kids don't have to buy cars that accommodate us and their cousins and their aunties. You get, yeah? So that's all I meant. Normally when I share those stories, that's what. But anyway, katugende ku Lifestyle Wednesday. I want you guys to share, how did you know that it was your time? How did you know that it was your time to buy your second or even third car? Are you sharing it? Now, let me share the story of the Vanguard. So, and also guys, let me tell you this. When I share your stories here, I don't mean them in a bad way. I share every detail because this is one way for the people that will go to buy cars to know what to expect in the market. But also two, this is one way for me to also like preempt the people I'm going to work with, so that they know when they come to deal with me, this is how I work. You get, so that they don't see me work in a certain way and maybe they get offended or something. So for starters, I'm one person that is really honest. Yeah, I'm open. I will tell you. So yesterday, this gentleman that came yesterday called me the day before, and he texted me. He's from TikTok, so he texted me. So he doesn't know how the inspection works for Arthur, I think. So he texted me the day before, and he was asking me, and I did not answer. I told him deposit 50,000 consultation fee. And he said, okay, let me deposit it. And he did not deposit. And so then he texts me at around, I think it was around 3 a.m. He told me, you know what, Arthur, let me just skip the consultation. I'm going to come and we just go for inspection. And I said, fine. So I wasn't sure he was coming. I had a class in the morning. I'm teaching someone. Steve Barros, I'm teaching someone how to design websites using WordPress. Nibana abantu bagala kututomera. Mukimanyi nti convoy yebadde tennaggwayo muyisize eri bayisiza ku right tebayisiza ku left. Bana abantu babaaki bayisiza ku right. Omuya ayagala yisiza ku left babaaki. Ate no convoy nene. Convoy nene mbadde ne message za convoy nene tebankuba ebyasi. So I told you yesterday we have two internets. So in the morning I did my class. Steve Barros, I was teaching someone how to do websites using WordPress. That one I know very well. I don't need to code. So I'm doing my class. I don't expect this person is coming. I had to go have a chat with Kasim, the Benz mechanic, yeah. And yeah, but I could not do that because nowadays for romantic. Then this gentleman came. Then he calls me. As he passes me, he's also calling me. Yeah? So he calls me and I say, and indeed, you're going to have a. So he came and he went to mobile money, withdrew the inspection fee. And then as he handed me the money, he told me, Arthur, sino nyamotoka. You can imagine how dishonest I felt taking this man's money after him telling me Arthur sino nyamotoka. But I took the money even then because I already knew we were going to see a car that was unbelievably priced. We were going to look at a Vanguard at 15 million shillings. So he said Arthur sino nyamotoka, and I said, okay, so why are you paying for inspection fee if you're not looking for a car? And he said Arthur sino nyamotoka na ye sivuga na motoka kuba nyine nsisi. And I looked at him and I said, okay, so why are we going to inspect a car bano okuvuga motoka to yagala? Ngamba najivuga ko murundi kumuna ye ntya. And I said, okay, it was confusing. It was confusing. So today I worked with a mechanic akolera kumpi awande yao. I said, okay, together no mechanic. So we went to pick the mechanic and we picked the mechanic. And the first thing I told the mechanic when he got in, I told him, you know what? This is the first gentleman I'm seeing at Anonya Moroka. So I'm confused. Yeah. So, but I had already kept my car money. So we went, the car was in Mutungo. So we drive all the way to Mutungo and we see the car. It was a Vanguard. It was an older number plate, yeah? But it was unbelievably good. It was a UAM, so now you're namokade. But it's a 2007 model. 2007 model Vanguard. Okubera ku UAM. Yeah? Oliaba yajigula kavera. Ochitegera because ne UAM number plate yafulumira around 2007, yeah? So chitegeza omuntu okubanga yavuga Vanguard ku UAM yajivuga kavera. But of course, if I tell you where we found that car, you will know this family had the money to buy that car Kavera. Okay? So we looked at the car and you know how they call you for a car and UAM. A Vanguard 2007 push to start button 7-seaters. Even if it's a UAM. Brijay Kakai, welcome to the VIP club. Yes, Banamwe. So you guys, you can imagine a Moroccan UAM Vanguard 2007, 15 million will be a very good price, yeah? So as I was checking this car, unlike all the other cars that I normally check with a very open mind, as I was checking this car, I was literally looking for what's wrong with this car. I'm telling you. I was looking for what's wrong with this car. Even the mechanic, I kept telling him, like, you know, it has a 2.4 liter engine. The normal engine that I tell you that fails a lot, the engine was intact. It didn't even have any funny sound. The service was new. Oil. Of course, later we realized oil katono, but twagenze at a petrol station kurunya and realized it had a small leakage. The engine was intact. The gearbox was intact. The SC was intact, guys. Now I'm going to tell you the things that were wrong with it. But there was nothing alarming. There was nothing that is not expected for a car that has been driven since 2007. There was nothing to not expect. Like, it was better than some cars we find on UBJ. But now let me tell you what was wrong with this car. It was okay. It was an okay car. It had no tire. That's why we have two internets, guys. Yeah, that's why we have two internets. When internet goes off, another internet comes on. And I know I'm using the wrong English. It just sounds right. So we kept checking the car, trying to figure out what's wrong with this car. and it moved very well. Once the suspension was actually intact also. The car was dirty. I have pictures of the car. I took pictures very fast because I knew we were supposed to buy that car. So, and we drove the car, neteka muna amafuta ntugamba techamuka. Amazima ng'emmoroka tekola ki? Emmoroka nga techamuka. And the car was unbelievably good. No tires, the body paint bagiddamu ne bagifuuwa bubi. And to the extent that it was very easy for us to believe that maybe the original color is not that color, but the car was supposed to be green, but I think they took it back. That's why it's not very good for you to go and buy rare colors, because when you go to respray these cars, these guys put the wrong colors, but it was actually the right color. I did a verification with URA and everything checked out. But I'm going to tell you what didn't check out. The car was, so I told this guy, you know what? Gure motoka. Sasura milioni 15 taina wagenda. I'm telling you, at 15 million shillings, you cannot get a Vanguard with a healthy engine, a healthy gearbox and everything. So, we drive away nga mugambe kubira omusajja avuge moroka encharge lete mu kibuga omwe sente. And they even made an appointment. Then I get a call from my URA person. Nangamba Arthur, moroka eyo. Of course, the URA person sent me the details I needed. And said na Arthur, I sent my URA person the pictures of the car. Ka Arthur, moroka eno mukadi ngegamba kala gundi. Ne kale yo ndaba siyeyo. So I got the number of the person that owns the car in the logbook, and I call, and the owner in the logbook is a female. But when I call, the person that picks the phone on the other side is a male. So I tell the person that was buying the car, you call this person back, or omubuzo ba manyo muntono, because the person, and when I said I don't know him, so I told the person that was buying car, this is a red flag, yeah. And the person that was buying the car, of course, this person got the car for himself, yeah. So and so the person that was selling the car to this gentleman had told him the car was in his names. But now we realize the car is not in his names. The car is in another person's name, and the person is a female. You get? So then this person calls the person that is selling the car and asks him, it's in a woman's name. It belongs to a woman, but the number that is on the logbook is picked by a man. And then the person says the car used to belong to my mother, which totally makes sense, because obviously, yeah, a person my age couldn't have had like a brand new car in 2007 unless they are a minister's kid or something. So it made total sense. But then the problem is there are gaps in the information. Is your mother dead? Is your mother alive? Who is going to do the transfer? And then the guy kept saying, me, I'm going to come and we do transfer. And then for me, the fact is, unless you're a broker who tells me I bought this car, I'm going to do. If you tell me the car belongs to your mother, where is your mother? You get, there are issues that we want to look at, because we have seen instances where people sell their guys, double tap the screen, double tap like this to give us more likes. We have seen instances where where people have sold property that does not belong to them. Yeah. We have seen instances where people sell cars that do not belong to them. They sell houses that don't belong to them. You buy it, and later on someone comes and says, you stole my property, or it belonged to me, and stuff like that. So for me, I was seeing these gaps. So the gentleman that was buying also called someone in URA, and the person said, you know what? I think we can transfer this car, but the person that is in the logbook actually has to come. And then they said, this TIN number, the TIN number of the person in the logbook, has a balance with URA of about 8 million shillings, yeah? And for me, I have no problem with that. Could be something, an error that was done when they were getting a TIN number. In the past, people used to think that you cannot get a TIN number unless you have a business, yeah? So they would put businesses there. But the thing when you put a business on your TIN, you're implicating yourself with URA. You're telling URA, you know what, guys? I actually have a business and I'm making money. So URA keeps assessing you, saying you have to give us this money. And if this person got a TIN like in 2007, yeah, 8 million is very little money. Chitegezade wa mjaka emitwalo nga 23 buli mwaka. Okitegeera, eh? So this person also called someone in URA. I think I came to that part and they say we need to see. So I was telling this gentleman, you know what, there's trouble you might actually get yourself into, which you should not be getting yourself into. Yeah. And part of the trouble is that should you buy this car and they transfer it and the mom is actually alive, and let's say the mom did not authorize this person to sell this car. The mom comes back later and says, my car was sold not properly. Then they get your car and park it at police or at a court. You're going to be losing your money. Yes, 15 million might not be a lot of money, but it's a lot of money. And I told him, me, if I were you, I'd actually let it go. Or the option that we ended with was tell this gentleman to transfer the car from the mother's name to his own name. Yeah. And after he has transferred that car to his own name, then you can buy from him. Yeah. That would be a fair thing. You can buy from him. And it totally makes sense. So what this gentleman did, instead of buying the Vanguard at 15 million, he proposed to this person that, you know what, I'm going to buy it at 16. But first of all, transfer this car to your names and then I buy from you. Then that would mean I'm buying from you as the owner. So that we eliminate all the other trouble that might come. So that's where we ended. And then we have a Harrier Kawundo at 16. My guy, this is going to be interesting. So we are going to go and look at it. And with the Kawundo, I know I'm just going to check the engine normally. The Vanguard, that was really suspicious. The Kawundo is in a number that is believable, but normally with the Kawundo, I think the one thing that we normally look at would be the engine. It's normally nothing the Vanguard, the engine is intact. Then I just had to find out, okay, what's wrong with this car? But everything checked out, the chassis number checked, the engine number checked out, everything checked out until we go to the logbook issue. You get. So anyway, that's what happened yesterday. And apparently the person was actually very happy with me inspecting only one car. He will give me more money if we have to go to another car. He's ready to give me more money. Such times I enjoy myself. It was 1.5 hours of like going, inspecting, and then coming back. And yeah, so we'll look at another car later on. Yeah, and so that's the story yesterday. And so how do we know that one is ready to buy their first car? I think there is no right age to buy your first car. There is no right age for starters. You can buy your car at 20, 21. Me, I bought my first car at 21, 20. I had my first car in 2010. I was 20 years. Yes, I was 20 years. And I cannot say I had a lot of income. No. But I just wanted to buy a car. And I'm glad I did. Because I find that if I hadn't bought my first car in 2010, this channel would not exist. And a lot of good things that have happened to me would not have existed. I realized if I did not have a car when I met Mama Aban, she would not be with me now. That's the one thing I realized. She achigana, but I know the car definitely helped me. It's not like she wanted the car or anything, but it enabled me to actually so definitely the car was something. So I find that there is no right age to buy a car, but there should be parameters. Let me see your comments. Let me see what you guys have said. Let me see nakomiewa. Kim Job Nakuzem, Yusuf Minaj, Kasiba Ante, Morad K Momo VIP, Moses Mob. Forget about negative people. Abdul, Ronald M. Kasendwa, VIP, Karijiri Moses, good morning. Amos, Karijiri Amos, Nsereko Starch, Gambia Mazimagaru. It's like telling a newlywed groom or bride, Ntibaja kumenyo mutima one day. It's not that but it's cause the experience and what people go through at in the end never mumenya. The stories you share, Oberanga pastor preaching a particular sermon and someone in the congregation feels attacked by the sermon. But pastors sometimes attack. pastors attack. I remember when one of the reasons why I realized like the born again religion wasn't for me. When we were in high school, there was this chemistry teacher. He was a Musoga chemistry teacher. And he came nagamba abavubuka bambara jini abasiba balance bali mustan, like I was doing balance because it was trendy, it got girls. Bali mustan. I say no. I just walked out of the church. That is Samuel. So people conceive differently when it comes to telling them ebibaluma. Some will take it positive and others negative. So regardless, amazima gabaluma petwa kutegeera. Amina. Berry Klule morning, Henry Modern Juice, Brijay Kakai, welcome to the VIP club. Odong Godfrey Ojara, Omeka enthusiast, Benz W210. Hey, nani mamugera kunsikiza ogula Benz nga project ka. Hey, Arnold 0011. But guys, nabagamba abaine moroka za diesel tuli mugezesa Rubia. Tuli mugezesa Rubia wa Total. Oil wa Rubia wa Total. They say they have a new formulation. Mujukiranga bwe twakola ku Excelium. Nze Excelium yanko irani kakati nywa Excelium. Katuli mugezesa oil wa Rubia wa diesel vehicles Chigege, Land Cruiser, abavuga Nissan Terrano, abantu bonna abavuga diesel vehicles, yeah. Tuli mugezesa oil oyo wa Total wa Rubia. Ochitegira bwe tuli mugezesa, how does it work? Ngenda kuba I'm going to be sharing videos of me actually like working on the taxis that we have. Tulabe, of course, I'm investing my own money there. Tulabe, I want to test it so that we know which oil. Waliwo emotoka ezimu nga ekulaga nti enywa oil naye nga actually tenywa oil nga it's the type of oil that you're putting there. So it's also I'm also using it as a study to find out emotoka bwe twandika okunywa oil, like I've said, if you have been using 5W40 and emotoka ntatiko okunywa oil, take ko 5W50. Bwe yongera ne yateka 5W60 nga tonna siba engine. So I want to see what the claims that the Toyota guys have of their Rubia oil, but go ahead and try it above emoroka za diesel and report to me. Chimanyi wano waliwo abantu abavuga emoroka za diesel abavuga BMW, Mercedes Benz, the SUVs, abavuga the Land Cruisers. You guys are definitely driving diesel vehicles, and I would love to see those that have already tried to use Rubia. Call it that, but from what the experience I've had with the Excelium, I'm thinking their oil is good and it's worth trying. Guys, double tap. 15 million shillings for a Vanguard. I bought my mom one at 60 million. Anti-Kat Morad Kemomo. Yours was new. This one was a UAM. Good morning, everyone. Arthur, you talked about buying a project car. What do you think about the RAV4 98? Yeah, it's something that is good, but I find, guys, if you're going to be buying a project car, buy something that you're really passionate about. That's why I'm inclined to buying a Mercedes Benz. I think I've always wanted to buy a Mercedes Benz, and project car it's okay. So that's why I'm considering buying a Mercedes Benz. And of course, I have a car in town, moto wange javuga. So Mercedes Benz he can come and pick my people. Or if I have stuff to deliver, he can come and deliver on my behalf. So I think I've made all my calculations properly. So I think I've got myself covered. I just have to figure out if it's the right decision. I don't think I'll take a RAV4 as a project car. No. It would have to be something that I want to do stuff to. Semanda Raymond, morning. Mr. Shadrach VIP, if I'm not in Uganda right now, is it advisable to get my close guy to buy for me? Mr. Shadrach, I would actually recommend that you come and buy the car when you're here. You. Your car. Naegwe emoroka jirabe duka. Ne athalironda zeko fugari. Oza mwosantu, ojja kutia. Ojja kutia, but I was late, Oza. And then guys, above Gabombo Road, there is something you guys need to understand. They have put a solid middle line from Kawanda all the way to Kawempe. Impapula bigenda kukaba. Impapula bia reckless driving bigenda kukaba. Because you cannot overtake from Kawanda to Kawempe. Ontegera, you must not overtake from Kawempe to Kawanda. From Kawanda, there is no overtaking. It's a solid line. Nzenda bira jamu kyagenda tukolaawo. Abasajja ba traffic bagenda kulya sente. bagenda kulya sente from Kawanda to Kawempe, from Kawempe to Kawanda. You cannot overtake. Morning bro, I'm Wasa from Wero. Mpulira mbu Jan Japan bond etunda moroka zawe ku bei nnungi. Njagala ontwale ngule nnuwa 2010 model. Sina namba yo. Waswa enamba yange mu description. Na ye one thing kye njagala mbabulire ku Jan teri guarantee. Ogulanga omanyinga bwogula ebikadde ntozza. Tosobola complaininga. Ku Jan ne bwovuga emmoroka n'ovaawo n'odda ebweru n'ekuba yingini tobanyega. I want you guys to understand. I'm saying this for clarification. I'm saying this because someone has actually asked me. I've avoided talking about this for a very long time. I've been there. I inspect cars. I've inspected cars from there. We have bought cars from there before. But one thing choino kumanya, kujanyo, you buy as is. Tosobola kudda mulabanga bwetwagula Impreza ntuddayo w'omuyindi n'atugamba mumufune party eyo gye mugula mugitekemu, I'm going to give you money. Eri teri kuddayo. Okitegeera. Kati omuntu atunda nga takuwa guarantee, you know what that means. Okitegeera. But normally you can save. Osobola okusavinga. But I saw Nyinagai Gwenaraba ku TikTok. I also still don't want to say his name unless he has actually allowed me to say his name. Obango muntu amogedde ku wano. Ng'akyogera. I think eventually n'agamba kati nafunye bonding nya. You remember how that change happened? That change did not happen by mistake. That change did not happen by mistake, and that change did not happen nti ba broker bam pressuringa. Brokers cannot pressure you to do something like that. Okitegeera. Because I can tell you one thing. Kujani eyo olabayo, emmotoka ne bagiguza layise etya, waliwo alya ssente. Ekyo nakibagamba. Kyobola banna bagamba don't avoid brokers. Nti gwe ne bw'onookola otya, munda omwo mulimu agenda okujja abenga yakuleese. Era ye balina omusasula. Era ne bwe batamusasula, ssente za broker, omuntu atudde mu office agenda kuzirya. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Nti emmotoka eyo baba bagitunda, even the last price has broker fees involved. Ontegeera. That's why normally when we are negotiating, it's very important for you to go and negotiate. Go wenyini yingirayo mu office or negotiating. Zolumusaga na kuyingira n'abantu mu office eyo. Okitegeera. Because bw'onooyingira n'omuntu eyo, oli agenda tandika okulaba anyigiriza ono ng'alaba kw'oli. Bw'amunyigiriza alaba nga ggwe agenda okumulyako, which is not normally the case. So when you go to buy a car from a bond, go wenyini genda mu office and negotiate. Okitegeera. Negotiate as much as possible. Gwe kyoba omanya nti ne gye bakugamba nti bakuguza ku bbeeyi ya busuubuzi, naye waliyo abakola gwe kyogamba abantu bosanga nga batuddawo wabweru bakola ki. Gwe kyogamba mbu nno. And sometimes I don't want to over talk about these things because ate brokers will feel too attacked. Because no nyini naye broker. That's why tavaayo najja nakugamba bano batuneboyoka ku bbeeyi ya busuubuzi namba yiyo lwaki tabawa namba n'abagamba mwegendereyo. Agakati gwe nkubira then nkuwe namba. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Kati gwe kyoba omanya, your goal should be to get a good car. And I've shared an experience here before. I found someone buying a car. Noah. Nga bamuguza Noah SI $1,360,000. 36 million. And we went and looked at the car. We looked at a bunch of other cars that were in that place. This was not at Jan. This was not at Jan, guys. Waswa. This experience I'm sharing was not at Jan Japan. Jan Japan also has good cars. Okay? But the reason why batunda ku bbeeyi y'obusuubuzi is because bo baleetanga asuubula nga bw'olaba omusuubuzi bw'anabeera mu kikuubo nti asobola okuleeta ebintu ebimu bijja kuba byemu bijja kuba birungi. Okitegeera. And I've told you buli muntu asuubuza emmoroka bw'aleeta bw'ati waliwo abalondamu. It's a fact. Abasuubuzi bajja ne balondamu. Kati gwe atali musuubuzi osanga zisigadde. Eyo nvuddeyo. So I'm still sharing the story of a guy eyali agenda okugula Noah. Abamuguza SI Noah at 36 million shillings. I told him, yes, this is a good offer, but come, let's go look at other Noahs in other bonds. The SIs. Tetutuka ku SI eyaddala n'agamba mutuufu yitebadde SI. He shifted from buying a car of 36 n'agula emmoroka eno $3,900,000 nga naye akiraba. Okitegeera. And actually when we got there, then the Indian kubanze mu bondi yonze sigenda yonzeka waliwo abantu abatutambuzaamu because abantu the brokers, the thing I've been telling you guys about brokers, a broker can actually get you a good deal that you would not have been able to get if you were not there, if you are not with him. Right? So we go and we eventually agree on the car we were buying. It was naji sharing when I remember I took a picture. Actually, I think guy namusanga no musanga simujukira. Nangamba gwe guy chechiriwo and yeah. And then after he had passed, I remember that, oh no, you know what jitwagula loli. And so what happened is after agreeing on the price, then a gentleman comes in. Then he had come to tell the Indian, and then the Indian was like, but I've already agreed on a price. I cannot add more money. So I don't know how they sorted themselves afterwards, but we bought. But the difference I'm trying to show you is that you're going to buy a car at a very cheap price. But the 4 million you have saved, you have it in the pocket, but it's not worth it. Quality. Kachecho, I've also been telling you about grades of importation, that people import grades from like 2.5 and some people buy a 5. Right? Class evera 5, olina agula 2.5, olina agula 3.5. Kati ono wa 3.5, bwalaba wa 5 cent zaaguze, nalowooza bamusedde naye nga ate tebakoze eki. Nga tebamusedde nga grade ya importings, but that's a story for another day, guys. We're talking about when to buy a first car. Morning, Arthur, in 2010 you were 20 years. Then I was in S4. But now I look older than you. Do you look older than me? Anyway, I think the deadline for buying a car is when you decide to settle down and start a family. Are you sure? In 2010, I was joining campus. I was actually in my first year at campus. Bro, if all goes well this year, I'm coming for a car. It's not part of the necessities. A motor car no necessity. Actually, in the past, it wasn't really a car wasn't really a necessity because we didn't have a lot of borders. Accidents were less. But now we have a lot of borders. Accidents are a lot. Daniel, good morning. Arthur, about Noah 2005 and Wish, wanted to buy my first car. Nkoyo kwe yazika. Gula Wish, bobo innocent as a Wish. The Wish is better than the Noah. Of course, the Noah will give you SUV feel, but the Wish is definitely better. Kebele Wish old model, it's still better. Namiro, good morning. Arthur, I got my first car Subaru Impreza 2012. Thank God. I feel now I'm one of the family. Amina, kulika. Just make sure you maintain it on time. Inspect the timing belt at least every like 6 months to make sure it's not breaking, because that's like, then inspect what pulley away AC Subaru kapuli yako bwekafa. It's the pulley on the AC pump bwekafa kakutulo rukoba, and you don't want that to happen. Arthur, you showed Jonathan's interview of Mark X versus Subaru. He recommended people to buy Mark X, but in the interview he said sometimes he jumps onto a border. I did not see that interview. But personally, this year, it's going to be one of my goals to not take a border anywhere. Like last year, I took random borders, yeah? But this year is going to be one of my goals to not take a border anywhere. I'm making that decision intentionally because at the end of the day, when you lose your limb, it will not be worth it. I don't find that there is a deal that forces you to take a border that is worth it. I've shared that in all the big businesses I've done, I had a say in the time of my meetings. Business on man. The person calls you, they are going to give you a lot of money, but then they ask you what time is good for you. So you set your time. No, but auntie, I get to town this time, so I can. So all the big businesses I've gotten have not required me to be in a hurry to the extent of taking a border. So I don't take a border. I have a car. After working about is very clear. Guys, all brokers can be clear and all brokers may not be clear. I don't want you to say I endorsed this person or I endorsed that person. I've told you to genze ku White King e modoka zine tuzigoba. I actually remember someone took us to White King still. There is a new we bought 27. Then we went to buy and we went to see one of the Nuas at White Kings. And I don't know if it was White King or someone else. Emotoka ntujira bati yali nungi ngate bagitunda 29. And then the person that was buying called the person. They called, I think they called someone there yakubira the person, the owner of the Koba White King. I don't know. Then normally you people don't tell me what those people say on the other line. This person was honest. He told me, guy njogede na guy bangambye zene kama kanika. So so gwe kyoba omanya nti tewali wantu wetugenze ne tutalekaayo moroka zaabwe bweba mbi tetugijjaayo. That's a fact. So people can have good cars, they can have bad cars. So don't stick to one place. Nabagamba, you also don't have to stay after yakebere motoka yeka. You can use other people because no one has a monopoly. You can use other people to inspect your car. Iranga bwe chiri nti ku motoka era nazo okitegeera. Arthur, talk about the TX Prado while comparing 3RZ 2.7 and 1KD. I'll buy the petrol engine. I'll definitely buy the petrol engine because petrol engine ogenda gikolako kitolina kyosobola gikola. Buy the 3RZ. Buy the 3RZ, I'm telling you. You're going to drive it and get tired of it. Guys, today is not question Friday, guys. Let me not answer these questions, guys. Zeno 2010 I was in P7. Kim Jobu oli mwana muto. If you're the one I saw in your picture, then go kadiye. For a person that was in senior 1, go kadiye mganda wangi. Morning, Arthur, I'll get my first car this year and I will definitely look for you. I have my choice, but we shall sit and talk for better choice. Buy the car you want, people. Kale sebo a number anjirabe nkukubireko sawa mmeka ngoli free because I need this week. Nkubirako anytime. As long gwe okube simu ngateriko giweemu akadde egenda kuddako. Arthur nafa bakozesa mobile money twagala kusasula VIP na ye ebikola. Triple A mwetaaga visa card ebintu bya YouTube biwanvu mukazoba BL. How are you? So guys, let me make my last submission on the first time that you should buy a car. Vanguard yanumye gye twalabye yesterday. Yanumye nnyo. Vanguard eno yanumye. It was I could buy it at 15 myself and I would sell it 18. I'm telling you. Vanguard $1,18,000 mubasubuzi. Actually, this is what would happen. A Vanguard, what a trader would do, he would buy it, go wash it, respray it. Natekako obupira obukadde kaddawo obulike enjola. So he would in total spend about 700 for spray. You'd buy tires at about 500, that's about 1.2. And then he would wash it at about 100K, 1.3. So it would be 16.3. He would sell it at 20. He would sell that car at 20. It was a good model. Engine was more intact than most car windows I've seen. So the car would have actually 20 million in it. I think yali gitunze. Why do you talk bad about Nissan X-Trail? Yet there are many these days. You buy, Frank. You buy. That might be my own experience. Maybe you can get a better experience with the Nissan X-Trail, but people I've seen with Nissan X-Trails have suffered a lot. Maybe I'm just part of the sad world, yeah? You can buy it and you share. For the guys that have bought Nissan X-Trails and you're having a good time, please share your numbers. I want to get your side of the story. Because the side of the story of the Nissan X-Trails I'm getting is bad. Anytime I get money, I'm buying a car because it's my dream. But I don't care whether I'm renting. Okay, guys, let me just make this last submission on when the right time to buy your first car is. For starters, guys, recently I've been feeling that everything we do, everything we do is almost futile. Like when you look at the houses we build, the money we keep in the bank, yeah, the insurance policies we buy, the investments we make. Do you realize that all those things when you're on your deathbed mean nothing? They don't mean anything. So just imagine if you kept piling money, you didn't do the things you love, and 2 days later you were on your deathbed because, God forbid, you had a stroke. Or because a border hit you and now you're in clutches because You did not want to drive a car because apparently there was jam or you wanted to save fuel. Would you now understand that the money does not help you? You have seen people like Yaniono guy in a prime minister, Amama Mbabazi. There's a video that came out of him Gari in London, and you not stop to imagine that this guy was one of the most powerful people in the country. He still is. Of course, now he's better. I saw a picture of him with the president. Then remember the picture of the former minister Sam Kutesa. Like reports have gone around, he owns Entebbe Airport and all those things, yeah? And when I talk about people's names here, guys, I don't do it in bad light. These are lessons we could take. You saw Sam Kutesa, he lost a lot of weight, and we all know that cannot be some. He has had his weight for like 7 to 8 years, and he lost all his weight, and he's really small. And he has a lot of money, and his feet are big. So he's definitely sick. And at this moment, all the money in the world cannot make him feel better. Right now, you have seen people get saved at last minute because they realize that, oh, I should have been more humble. All these things don't matter. Like, people have died and they left money in the banks and their families were not even able to get that money because the families did not know that that money existed. You get. I watched a clip yesterday of someone, he was in a plane and the plane was about to crash and the pilot was saying the plane is going to crash and all, call your loved ones. And this person did not call his loved ones. He called all the people he hates. And he said, and then people were saying, like, you should be calling the people you love. And he said, no, the people I love are going to move on. Like, my wife, before the year ends, she's going to be with someone else and she'll be having fun. So I'm not going to call that person. I want to terrify the people that I don't like, the people that don't like me. I want to terrify them. And that instant when he said that, everyone in the plane changed and they were calling the people they hate, telling them, like, at least you're going to have that kind of impact. And then the other person will say, I don't want the people that love me to be scared that I'm not coming home. So you realize that it's vanity. And the fact that we know where the end is, the right time to buy a car is when you can afford the car that you love. That's the right time. And of course, if you're legal to drive. Go ina sente zigule mmotoka. Nge mmotoka ezili mu sente ezo zikusanyusa gule mmotoka. Because some people have been waiting to buy a car from the bond and they have never been able to afford to buy a car from the bond until they died. Some people have been waiting to afford to buy a car that is in very good condition and they were not able to buy a car in good condition until they died. And the guys, yesterday, the ladies, block your eyes. Ladies, the ladies, block your ears. Guys, you go to ade tuvuge moroka. And abakazi mubikama tu. Ade tuvuge moroka. And we were tuva inspecting tuva ku Vanguard, yeah? Sorry about that. Tuabade tuva ku Vanguard and natuli mbitala ekyala ne kitawo nga kiri ku boda ngamanyi n'abalokole mu bikama tu ngamanyi ningamba abayayi bano nembaga nemwe bagayi mulabe ekintu ekyo dala gulogenda kunsuubiza kiddala tugenda kunyumirwayo kiddala mu ggulu abakazi mubisa abatu n'abalokole because abalokole eggulu lye lisinga naye sinnalabayo wano wondabyewo. And then they all laughed and they said, man, oli mutuufu tugenda kula waliyo kyeyo obulamu buli wano. And because obulamu buli wano, when you can afford to buy a car, buy it. What if you don't love the car but you want it? Still buy it. You will love it. There's always a car you love in your price range. Trust me. Me, I've seen. And every car you buy, you'll stop loving it eventually. And then you'll want a better one. I'm telling you. Mama bani abimanyi. You guys, bina bitu byenjogera nomba nyo byogera nga ndi mama bani. Lwakwate mujja musisinkana anytime. anytime soon. Ne mama nimbeera na ye mwennyini n'aŋŋamba akasikati tokalabye nga kasikati maanyi okitegeera olumu n'akandaga ne mugamba akasikati nkalabye naye akambadde yakoonoonye bibaawo okitegeera naye ng'amazima gali nti mwe baggaayi nga tuzze mu mazima eggulu tulyagala kuba tutya omuliro naye nga tuzze mu mazima okuggyako nga you are a very sad person. Life is good when you get the things you want. So if it's a car you want, buy it. If it's a phone, bw'oba oyagala simu ya milioni 6 ng'oziina gigule ogikwateko. Bino ebintu bye tukola wano nga tuli ku nsi bye tunyumirwamu. Osegeera bye byokka bye tunyumirwamu bwe tunaafa there is a chance that when you die you have died. Ng'ogenda abakiwedde. Osegeera. And I think there is a reason why literally every person that dies tells us about hell. I've not seen someone that tells us nagenze muguru nendya bino nenvuga emotoka Lamborghini osegera. It's like everyone that dies briefly and comes back, they tell us about what hell looks like, which terrifies us a little more. And then somehow we think, then we fail to appreciate the goodness that is on earth. Yeah, enjoy every moment. If you can afford to go buy a good dinner, go have dinner. Like I took my kids to dinner on 26th and they enjoyed it. When my kids ask for KFC and it's in the budget and they normally ask, Daddy, is KFC in the budget? If it's in the budget, I buy them KFC because those are the memories they are going to remember. Osea, byota ina, byota funye, byota lidde, togenda, tojja kubijjukira. You might actually regret not having some of those things. So the right time to buy a car is when you can afford it. Nebobo in a one car now. If you can afford a second car, buy it. Uchitegera kati mama bani eno yangambi enjivemu nonye yangi chovolaba. Right now, the project car is not just about project carring. It's also about buying a car that I think I will want to drive periodically nganje ulira. I know the Mercedes-Benz is going to make me a real mechanic. Majority of the people that I know that have Mercedes-Benzes have become mechanics because Otukanga mechanic akola chemical. I doubt Kasim will do those things to me. That's one thing I doubt. I actually think he will teach me what I need to. Like literally all the mechanics I have had, I ended up getting them to teach me the things they know. So I'm thinking, but I'm still thinking about it. You guys are going to suggest, but don't tell me to buy Lamborghini or Volkswagen. Those cars. No. But guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I don't take it for granted. If you have the money to buy a car, I'm telling you. For me, I find that there is nothing as sad as someone dying atavuze ku motoka. Ekirala, there is nothing as sad as someone dying atalinnye ku nnyonyi. Kyonna kye kiri mwe baggayi, bw'obanga tolina gy'olaga, waliwo ennyonyi wane, I think eri Kajjansi. Bakuvugamu emitwalo 35 around Kampala. Go. Genda olinnye ku nnyonyi. Funayo banno nga 3, bagamba emitwalo 35 gy'abantu 3 minimum. Funayo banno 3, go mutuule mu nnyonyi babavugeko mu Kampala. Mutuuleko mu nnyonyi bw'oba tolinnyanga ku nnyonyi. There is nothing, those two things, okuvuga ku motoka, okulinnya ku nnyonyi. Okitegeera ebyo bintu mubikolerere. Bw'obanga okimanyi togenda Dubai anytime soon, oba mu America, oba where to visit, oba to work, genda Kajjansi. Omukazi ali ku tweet ku X okuba muyita Ashaba, Captain Ashaba ba Farida. I don't remember her name properly. Naye aliko erigamba erinya Ashaba. You can go to X omunonye akuvuga basobola n'okuvuga paka Jinja ne bakuzza. Jinja and back I think gide emitwalo 65. Osegeera ng'oli mu nnyonyi bw'oba tolinnyanga ku nnyonyi. Kikolerere guno omwaka ne bw'oba togenze Bulaaya. Bw'oba olina passport osobola okugirinnya n'ogenda at least Kenya n'okomawo return trip. Bw'oba eze Kenya nnyingi girinnye bakwetolozeeko mu Kampala. Gula emmotoka. Buy the phone you want. Kati nze wendi njagala S24. Ngenda gisondera. Sente zene simu nazikola dda nenziwa mama Abani. When najigula, I bought this one 2.1. Kuba nagaba pre-purchase inspection fee. Je mitwale 10 je gyayingiramu. Kati bwe namala okugifuna nti simu ngamba mama Abani, you know what? Izo sente kati zinsabe. Nenzikola paka bwe naziweza nenzimu ne mugazi kati ne simu ye nagisasula dda. gwe kyoba omanya nti when you put your mind to something you can actually do it. Ne bw'onoobanga emmoroka ebadde ekumenya because ogamba emmoroka eno bwe naagigula ssente ngenda kwemalamu, gigule. Bw'oba olina your wife oba your husband, gigule, oba account otandika oteeka ssente z'emmoroka ezagiguze ku account ozizzeeyo paka bwe zinaggwayo. That's the mechanism me that I use. Every time I buy something I have to make that money back. Okitegeera? I have to make that money back. Ezeene emmoroka nazikola neziddayo. Yes, nazikola neziddayo. I'm telling you, ezeeno gye ntuddemu. Corolla namukadde yeesasula dda. For me that's the method I use. Obutawulira nti nayonoona ssente buli kyengula I make the money back nenzizaayo. Nezikola ebirala tiga nti nzikwata neziteekaawo. Nezikola ebirala kati we live in an incomplete house ng'okolako ku ekyo. Osegeera. Kati remember I did not have the money to buy this car. You remember that? So gyo nazijja nazizaayo. Nazizaayo. And of course you guys remember I did not start with this car. I started with the Kavits kenagula akali ku 16. So I had to pay that money. Then ako kenakagula yakangulako nenfuna moto goba nengattako nengula akaddako nenfuna moto goba nengula akaddako zinafuna zezagula eno. So I find that that's a method that could work for you people that are still scared of buying your first or next car. Guys, kambasivule. Thank you for being part of the broadcast. I don't take you for granted. Triple M, Brigitte Kakai, Louis, Jones Info, Paul Sema VIP, Michael UG, Joseph Bali Kudem. Of course, now Brigitte Kakai is a VIP member. Isoba Ivan, official. Katingena, let me look for an option of mobile money, guys. Let me look for an option of mobile money. Sebugwao Medi, Nsereko Starch, Ronald M. Kasendwa VIP, Kasibante Aksam, Kamukama Godwin, official. Luirika Isaac, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, George Senkubuge, Travel Live Vlog, SPK Driving School, VIP, Yusuf Minaj, Morad K. Momo VIP, Moses Bob, Abdul, Kariejiri Amos Luke, Tare Samuel, Derek Lule, Henry Modern Juice, Odong Godfrey Ojara, Oza Mosantu, Chris Fitness Duburwa. Guys, you have not double tapped. Double tap. Kona bukwenye mscreen ya mirundi ya video, but the light will come. Semanda Raymond, Mr. Shadrack VIP, Arnold 0011, Felix Mani, William, Daniel, Viola Namiro, Shurai, Isaac, Ayazika. Okay. Lucky Mose, Daniel, Musime Kim Job, Waswa Joseph Sally, James, Kazoba BL, Frank Kasibante, Nakate Christine, Winnie Muonge, Proma Creations, and Ray Malik. Guys, open in the comments. Let me filter again. Era nyina zemba de sinalaba banange. Kanso kenzire yoko wano wagulu nkomi kwani. Natuha Bailon, Pastor Chiddemu Amagezi Gaze. I subscribed. Can I get a shout out? Hak Danielson, thank you for subscribing. Natuha Bailon, Henry Nakate Christine. Why were you laughing at my submission? Arthur, I realized that if you have a chance of doing anything, please do it. Arthur 1.5. Hey guys, thank you for subscribing. Not 1.5k. Hey, it was 15,000 subscribers. And then Nagamba sika amafuta naye wenfunira wazi yakawundo ngenda jeyi wamu siri kubya nsi munange get Subaru 2020 nze mami wange bambi teyeyagalira mu sente ye ngali kuba ganda be alabira nalimo nokukola ebintu bye yali asinga okwagala mu bulamu, but right now they turned their back on her. That's why kati neyagala. Guys, mweyagale. Arthur, leave Project Car alone. If you have money, Jayo field a fuel consumption. Respect as a director and emergency funds. Joshua, my third eye. Hey, Ray Malik, comment on the use of Islamic banking for buying a car. Islamic banking, this is the thing that where you get money and you don't pay interest, yeah? Ashawa Farida, even she's on TikTok, yeah. In 2024, I managed to buy my land and did some other investment, inshallah. My goal this year, I must buy a car, inshallah, because I'm working so hard, brother. I feel like I should make myself happy. Exactly. You deserve to be happy. What about getting it on loan? You can get a loan as long as the loan is fair. Innocent Aguminitwe, hi. Mr. Shadrach, before you go, do you think we have Hyundai in Uganda? No, we don't have a Hyundai dealership, but the cars are there. You can definitely buy. But there's no dealership. There is no. We're going to get in one of those expensive garages and hope they sort you. Flight in Kampala, over Kampala is 250. Flying over Kampala is 250 for 30 minutes, 301 hour for 1 hour for 400 for a person. Muchi uli de banange. Ziba 15k. Ziba 15k. Verosa is a good car. It's like the Mark II Grand. Guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I don't take you for granted. I don't know where the Verosa is, Frank. You can talk to a few brokers, no, but it's a good car, just buy. Guys, thank you very much. John Bully Waswa, thank you for subscribing to the community. And guys, abalaba videos, in the live broadcast. Thank you very much. I know it takes data, by the way. It takes data. I totally understand, but thank you for always being here, and thank you for engaging. Namu abalaba later on. Thank you, because the video again, live broadcast again, and I realized by evening it has over 300 views. That's big. Thank you very much. Abaine Murukaza Diesel Ruby ya mumugeze so rwale njagala mumbulire how it performs oil abafanana after like 1000 kilometers. Oil obotuko okumujjamu abayenkana atya, engine ye tokotita. Those are the reports I want, because we trust my Excelium, it really worked very well. Guys, guys, I wish you a very lovely day. May the good Lord bless you. Ciao.